Thanks to Jack at 360 PT for submitting his social media assets for audit. Let's get started. One thing I noticed right away about 360 Fit's Instagram was the sheer amount of client transformation stories. This is something Jack has really honed in on, and he does really, really well. Look at the amount of transformation stories. It's basically all transformation stories on his Instagram. If I was like any of these people and I wanted to be down 14 pounds, I could very easily find myself in these photos and want to reach out to Jack to take those next steps. He also supplements his transformation stories with a little bit of educational content just sprinkled in there. So you'll see he's got information about back pain. He's got information about posture. He has healthy tips. And Jack also does a great job of the talking head videos that we can really get to know Jack and figure out who is this person that runs this studio and is he somebody that I'm going to want to work with. The only thing that I see on here that could be worth some improvement is the engagement on these posts. So no engagement on the majority of the posts that I took a look at. These client stories are so good that you really should be tagging people in those posts. You should be reaching out to other members who want the same results. You should be tagging coaches so you can really get those replies and that engagement on these posts so that their reach can be farther. Now, this maybe isn't as important for Jack because he is really good at doing paid advertising. So something that also was a little bit confusing was this is 360 Fitness PT, and then it says Jack from 360 Fitness. You've got a picture of Jack as the logo, which I think is fine. It's just an interesting way to do it. You are probably the icon in this gym. And so I think that that's probably appropriate for you to have, a photo of your face instead of a logo. People want to work with people that they know, like, and trust. And this is a really good way to develop that know, like, and trust with you. I would get this website link out of here and just simply reference the famous 6-week challenge. And I believe that that's what your main call to action is here. Now, Linktree is a little bit of crazy town. So we have way too many links on here. That being said, I think there's a lot of free things that you're giving away for lead capture in here. So I think that's really cool. You've got your transformational wall of fame. You've got some supplements, but a lot of free things, which I assume that you're talking about a lot of in your posts. So there's nothing wrong with having that. But the only thing I don't see is like one main call to action. Famous 6-week challenge is the way that you get leads in. That's right near the top. I might just highlight it or tell me what your main program is so that I understand what's the most popular next step or what's the most obvious next step for me to take. Facebook is just another good example of what you're doing. So you've got a lot of followers on Facebook. Looks like you're actually doing different things on Facebook than what you're doing on Instagram. And I think this is probably because your audience on Facebook versus Instagram is different, which is probably really smart. It's an older demographic that's on Facebook. And so he's got older clientele on here and older transformation stories. The other thing that Jack is really good at is being consistent. There's almost 10 posts in 3 days. So he's really consistent. His intro is up to date. Yeah, just the only other thing I don't see on here is engagement. I think if you were to try and do a better job of the great job that you're already doing, it would be with the engagement on these posts. This logo does look a little bit strange, so I might consider just switching that up, but otherwise I think it's fine. And then your website, you've got a free guide on here. If I don't want that, I have to kind of purposely get rid of that, which is a little bit annoying. Request a free consultation, which goes to a lead capture form. Got all of your transformational stories on it, which is wonderful. You've got 3 steps to get started, lots and lots of calls to action on the website, which is really smart. You've got a lead magnet on here, which is a quick opt-in. And then you've got a ton of success stories. Jack has also done a really great job at keeping this website super simple. So you only have a few different options on here. You're not overwhelmed with information on this website. So overall, Jack has done a superb job. Where he's really strong is he's super consistent. He's got a ton of client stories. He's got a great call to action. Where I think he was just okay was the link in the bio. It was a little bit overwhelming and I wasn't really sure what the main most popular call to action would be. So I would just see if there's a way to highlight that. And then where I thought you were weak and where you could do better was the engagement on these posts.